16 races complete in the Sim 500 Xfinity Series presented by the Ford Entertainment Group. And tonight, we go racing as 18 drivers will run for the championship this evening, starting this evening in round number 1 of the playoff season. We welcome you into the brand new installed on iRacing Atlanta Motor Speedway, virtually on iRacing as mentioned, as we are here tonight for the round number 1 of the Sim 500 playoffs for the Xfinity Series. I'm the captain. We welcome you in on this Sunday evening. Track so new, it don't even have a photo on there. Look at it like that. 108 laps tonight. 54 going to be the halfway point. 79 degrees. Trust me, it's a lot hotter than that here. I know that because I live about an hour and a half northeast of the track. 53% humidity, clear skies, 2-mile-an-hour winds, so on and so forth around this 1.54 mile oval. You see the cars out there running laps, getting their practice in for the big race coming up here in just a few moments. Let's take a look at the drivers that will be in, and there's one notable driver not here tonight, I've noticed. I'm waiting to see if he pops in there at the last minute, but the guy right there at the top, Daniel Falkingham, not here right now. Leave a message at the beep, apparently. He's not going to be here, it looks like, unless he shows up here in the next minute or two. But the rest of the drivers, minus EJ O'Rourke, are here this evening. So EJ and Daniel are out, it looks like, for tonight. You see the points are all reset to 2,000. There's no bonus points or anything like that added on to the field for stages and stuff like that. It is straight up 2,000. Everybody starts over like a brand new season for the races coming up. It is going to be a fun one to watch, especially as we start on a super speedway style mile-and-a-half track like the Atlanta Motor Speedway this evening. 18 drivers, going to go down to 12 by the end of 3 races from now. And again, that starts here in Atlanta. And of course, there's the battle for the direct drive CSL wheel that is being given away by the Ford Entertainment Group right now. And Josh Adams has the lead in that by 2 laps over Chad Coleman. Charles Wood sits in 3rd. Daniel Falkingham there at 4th. And you see all the way down to Jeff Ryan. I've kept it within 200 laps for now, just to kind of get you a group of people who's in there. Obviously, tonight being 108 laps, so unless Josh Adams falls out immediately, then a lot of these guys will not catch him right now. But that could change, obviously, in the next 10 races here in the playoff season. But that is how that is all set up. We have 31 cars on track. It looks like this evening, ready to go racing for these 108 laps. And there's a lot of unknowns here. Of course, I myself have run a B-Fix race here this week, just to see what could potentially happen tonight. And I will say the car definitely, it's a draft, but you do got to be careful because the tires will get hot and you can have some issues with them if you do not take care of them. And i.e. having maybe a tight race car or a loose car, something like that could obviously hurt you handling wise and eventually start falling back or something like that. So you just got to be careful, and we'll see how it all goes here this evening. Practice is about to wrap up. We're actually going to go down here and do some Q. Why not? Get some qualifying. Should be starting here in roughly 10 seconds or so, and we'll get out on track. We'll find some drivers. All right, we're going to turn the audio on for the cars here and get you ready. Qualifying about to begin.
It's a good old Talladega glitch.
Let's see who pulls out there on track first. It should show up in the bottom section of the track here, or the ticker, once it comes up, who will be out there running the first laps. It does not actually have anybody out there yet, but we're going to see. It looks like Josh Adams might be the first one going out, so let's go watch this 56. There he is, the Best Buy Toyota Supra. Now you're going to see these laps be exactly like Super Speedway qualifying. You'll probably see them throw away a lap and then come back on a second lap, run the bottom, and they'll get the best that they can get here. There's one particular... Oh, And Daniel Falkingham makes an appearance at the last minute here. So we'll obviously have 17 of 18 drivers that are in the playoffs make an appearance here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway round number 1 tonight of the playoffs for the FEG Xfinity series here on the Captain Esports Network. Appreciate you joining us. Of course, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, both the Sim 500 and the Facebook pages of the Captain Esports Network. So Josh is going to be the first one to cross the line. You see Holyfield and Wetzel also on track. And Adams plants it on track with a 33 flat. So obviously that was the throwaway lap. He'll run right on the bottom here all the way around now. Pedro Mojica, he's going to be a fast one. However, there's one particular car that I am going to be watching when it comes to qualifying on a super speedway, and that was actually last week's pole sitter, and he is coming on track right now. This guy right here, Tyler Dalton. This 19 car, he is a pretty smart guy when it comes to running laps around super speedways and stuff. I sit there and I've kind of taken all of his information as he talks about what he does out there on track, and let's see how Tyler runs this lap. Top side down the back straightaway here. Of course, this track reconfigured up to 28 degrees of banking now in the corners. Track narrowed up to 50 feet, which is actually the same as Charlotte and as Daytona. Front stretch is a little wide, but we'll say tonight there will be an out-of-bounds line, which is that red and white line that you're seeing there at the bottom. So anybody who crosses that line could be in line for a penalty this evening. But let's see right now. Mojica jumps to the top, 32-24. Tied with Josh Adams here. Campbell to a 32-26. Tyler's purple. And yes, you're allowed to go down there for the qual lap. Boom. 32-20 for the 19. Mike Kelly to Verizon Ford. He runs his first lap 32-42. Brian Wortman on track. Also Kevin D. Brown, Tom Dreiling. See Scott Stenzel also out there. You see Kelly over there to the far right on the timer. Yep, Kelly's going to go down there. Hell, even go to the grass. Why not? As Mike goes to P11-32. Wow, he didn't get any faster, actually. Interested to see how many cars actually choose not to qualify with the way that the racing is at this track. Of course, I've done plenty of racing here this week. I ran a B fix, ran an A fix last night. Didn't have the best finishes, but I actually did enjoy the racing on the track. Now, that's not to say that I favored over the old school. I'm going to leave that comment alone. All right, so now the 1 minute warm-up, which we'll step away for a quick second. We'll get you ready for the starting lineup for the race here at the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway as you're watching the Captain Esports Network in the Sim 500 Xfinity Series.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
All right, back we are at the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Cars are pulling back off the track as the warm-up is over. And we are going to set the field right now for the starting lineup for this first round of the opening round of the playoffs. As we show the grid to you right now, it is Tyler Dalton. He'll be on the pole once again this evening. Second straight pole for the 19 car. 32.201. He'll outrun Pedro Mojico, start P2. Josh Adams starting third. And how about Brian Wortman going to start P4? Looking to be the spoiler here in the first race. Glenn Campbell, Tom Dreiling, he'll start there in row number 3. Row 4, Anthony Calantoni and Scott Stenzel. Row 5, Mike Mondesi and Gerald Livingston starting there in the top 10. Row 6 is where, let's back it up a row. There we go. Ed Burrell. I believe this is his season debut. I've not seen Ed's name, I believe, this season. Alongside Mike Kelly, Bobby Wetzel, Ron Holyfield, Daniel Falkingham there, 15th position. You see this? Only 14 cars ran a qualifying lap. The rest of the field said, nope, I ain't doing it. They said they're going to the back. So Falkingham, Coleman, Kevin DeBrown, this basically, I believe, is lined up by iRating now. Is how this is all set up. Coleman, Kevin DeBrown, and Richard Beasley. Chuck Sweeting and Scott Simley will start there in row number 10. You got Jose Gonzalez and Tommy Ryan, row number 11. Row 12, Eric Arnold, Charles Woods, Jimmy Coleman, Joey Jatina. Hope he got his stuff set up. I know he was having some issues out there during practice. Randy Oakham, John Muschin Jr. there, row 14. Row 15, Steve Herring and Bob Gillenwater. Doug Sigmund and Jeff Ryan there, 31st and 32nd, will round out the field of drivers. So 32 cars about to put in work. On this newly configured 1.54 mile oval. Kind of reminded me with the way now the back straightaway is set up and the front stretch kind of has a Charlotte feel to it. Now, it's not going to race like Charlotte at all. Let's just put that out there now. All right. 18 drivers enter to start the round for the championship. However, 32 cars can easily win this race this evening. The opening round of the Sim 500 FEG Xfinity Series playoffs is green from Atlanta. See the 96 jumping out of line right away there, top side going to the back. A lot of cars scattering to go to the back. Of course, the cameras you'll see on board the cars tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and in the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Unfortunately, this track's still a little too new for Itzvan to get the cameras complete because he likes to take his time and make sure he gets them right. So we're actually on the iRacing default cameras tonight, but the onboards you'll see tonight will be the TrackCams 4 Gourmet package. Oh, some contact there with Campbell and Adams already. Glenn Campbell going to get himself a lap led there inside. You're going to see a lot of super speedway style racing here for the most part. You will see handling come in a little bit though. Track temp is pretty hot. As a matter of fact, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to throw it out there real quickly. Track temp at 136 degrees right now, so it's hot. Tyler Dalton going to kind of grab that top side right now. As Josh Adams dropping to the bottom there, Campbell and all those guys. Wortman, Calantoni joining the battle. Mike Kelly up in here. Already got some big movers in the race. Kelly up 4. Bobby Wetzel up 2. Jose Gonzalez up 8 spots already. You can see where some of the cars, 21 kind of getting out of shape on the apron there. Hold on, Ed. Ed Burrell there in the 21 trying to catch it. Good catch on his part as we arrive at Bobby Wetzel here, the 9 car. Tenth position right now for Bobby. He's riding behind Scott Stenzel there in the 42. The 6 car on his inside there, Mike Monacy. You hear just a little burp in the throttle right now. A little bit of a breakaway here, mid-pack, as you see Jose Gonzalez up 9 spots to 12th. And then you look back here, a lot of the team name and other drivers in the field here. Kevin DeBrown leading this second pack. Richard Beasley, Ron Holyfield, Chuck Sweeting, Eric Arnold, Chad Coleman, Jimmy Coleman, all a part of this little pack here of cars. You see the 8 of Randy Yoakum, Charles Woods. All these guys just kind of being patient, letting this race come to them. Kind of looks like Daytona last week. We had the same thing. We had a pack of cars all racing each other. And then towards the middle and to the back, it was all single file. One that kind of shocks me is up in here is Brian Wortman. His 3rd car outside lane, that's 74, the Morgan Shepherd paint scheme there. We ride with Monacy here. 6th car, the 4th car inside lane, 8th position here. Giving Calantoni just a little bit of space there inside. Back here, I saw one car look like 3 wide for a second. I kind of sorted it out a little bit here. Uh-oh. Something wrong with Daniel, or is he just aborting? I think he's aborting going to the back. Or, I don't know what that was about. I know that area of the track's out of bounds when it comes to advancing a position. So I don't know if something was wrong there or whatnot. But either way, already 10 laps complete. Pedro Mojica right there behind the 19, giving him a good push. You got Glenn Campbell in that 44, giving the 56 a pretty good push around this track. Mike Kelly there, Scott Stenzel. Outside line there with that 9, as I mentioned, a Wetzel there. But so far, so good at the start of this race. But as you know, in this kind of a super speedway style race, anything can happen. One mistake can take out a lot of people. When you've got pretty much all but one car, 31 cars in a pack here, Yeah, be very careful. That 23, Tom Dreiling joining the picture. That green, black, and kind of a chrome-looking paint scheme there. So Dalton continuing to lead as we see the single file line back here. All the names you see with the letter P next to their name, those are playoff drivers. Just to help you kind of see where everybody's running right now in the race. Otherwise, the other drivers just out here racing for the win. And trying to get the best points they can get to finish in the 19th position, which would be the first one out of the playoffs. Dalton's led the most laps so far in that top side. Looks a little more organized. That inside lane, I did notice when I ran the FEG series, the car seemed to almost have a little bit of an oversteer to it on the longer run on the right rear. It almost seemed like it'd want to spin out a little bit. So I wonder if some of these cars are starting to feel that and maybe getting out of the gas just a little bit, kind of burping it just to keep it under them. We'll have to see what is taking place here as these guys learn. I mean, this is the first time, unless somebody had a chance to run like the official series this week, that these guys have been out here together on this super speedway style Atlanta Motor Speedway. We mentioned the Sim 500 Xfinity series presented by the Ford Entertainment Group. They specialize in sim racing and sim flight gaming machines with over 3,500 PCs built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All FEG PCs come with the front to back warranty on every part, as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. $18 laps complete, 31 cars, all in the lead pack. And back here at the tail end, Gerald Livingston, who started in the top 10. As I kind of used Brian Workman as my example last week, this is about where I would be in the race if I was in this. And for those who didn't get to watch last week's race at Daytona, or 2 weeks ago's race at Daytona, basically my explanation of this is, if you look at his rear view mirror, you see nobody. As they're wrecking up front, right on cue, this is why. Tom Dreiling has gone around into 23. Joey gets clobbered by somebody. A little late for that hit. And caution is out. We got Tom Dreiling involved. Joey Jatina. Trying to see who else might have damage in this. But that was the exact reason why I talked about being the back car. You have plenty of time to miss the wreck. But I do not see many cars in this one. Tommy Ryan, maybe. Jeff Ryan could have some damage. Coleman and Sweeten, maybe. Let's see where this all begins. Oh, Workman got loose. Tom Dreiling, oh, I just talked about the looseness that they were starting to feel. Maybe Jatina? Oh, Chad Coleman gets a piece of it. Oh, he gets heavy damage. That actually could affect him in the standings for that FEG wheel, or the CSL Direct Drive wheel that he's up there at the top for. "136 degrees track temp. That back end just swapped. Look at it, just comes on down and loose. The 6 car getting damaged. It looks like maybe Calantoni also. Holyfield, little door bang there with, I can't tell who that is from here. Oh, Wortman's going to feel terrible about that. All right, let's ride with Gerald Livingston, the last car in line. Now, the one thing I probably wouldn't do in this situation is shift. Just let the car slow down. But there you go. That's how you control the back, being in the back and work your way right through the field. Let's go one more onboard camera here. Let's go to the one car of Ron Holyfield here. And let's ride with him as this wreck happens. Oh, John Mustian's to the car he hit there, but left front damage on Holyfield's car. So a couple of playoff drivers affected by this wreck. And we did have some pit stops, oh, by the way. Also, not everybody came to pit road, as you're about to see here. Three cars staying out, it looks like. Tyler Dalton, Glenn Campbell, Jose Gonzalez. Everybody else, Richard Beasley, Falkingham, all these guys to pit road. And some of them 2 tires, some 4 tires, some fuel only. Going to be interesting here as we get ready for the restart. As they should be doubled up here. Coming through 3 and 4. So right now from that wreck, Brian Wortman, Tom Dreiling on pit road. Everybody else still on track. I think Wortman's trying to get his damage fixed, so is Dreiling. But caution out here for the first time. Lap number 20 as we come back to the green flag as Dalton and Campbell lead them. Racing was fairly calm for the most part there during that run, so let's see how it goes here, if it starts to pick up a little bit. Of course, that last accident was caused by just somebody getting loose, unfortunately. All right, Brian Warren back on track. He is 2 laps down in the 31st position. Top 2 guys right now with no tires. They stayed out. And of course, you can go a near 60 laps on a tank of fuel, so you don't really have to worry about that. However, lap 54 is bonus points sitting right there with you for the halfway bonus. As Jose's going to move to the top side and open the door for Josh Adams. I believe those are 4 tires right there going to the lead, along with Mojica. We're really going to see if these tires play a role now. Beasley got a little loose there on that apron and kind of had to slide up a little bit there. You see the top 2 pulling away because they're single file. The rest of the cars side by side causes a little bit of drag on them and causes them to slow down a little bit. We ride with Jatina here in the 14 car. And this race here, probably some good practice for these guys for tomorrow night when the Cup cars come running here in Atlanta for 130 laps. Hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast so far. If you are, you can, of course, hit that subscribe button and jump on board here at the Captain Esports Network, either on the Facebook page or on the YouTube or on Twitch. As we're 28 laps into this first round of the playoffs that just began, 10 races. Next week, we'll go to the Granite State of New Hampshire and run the Magic Mile virtually. Riding with Bobby G here in the 4 car. Gillen Water running in the, where do I got him at? 13th position right now. Hear him kind of blipping the throttle, letting it roll a little bit. Saving the tires. A little shuffling going on here as Kevin DeBrown has gone to the front. I think we're starting to see the fresh... Oh, no, up in the wall goes Jutina. Great save on his part. I think we're starting to see the tires come to the front. Top 4 cars all took tires at that pit stop. In track temp, let's throw the weather up right now on the track and see what we got here. You'll see it stage left or stage right, 137 degrees right now on the track. Of course, they do the iRacing default, but the default weather, you never know what the track temp's going to be. So you're seeing these 4 cars with fresh tires, just single file and pulling away. Low handling now, as they're going to put a lap on Chad Coleman. Chad was hoping to win at his home track here, much like Austin Hill and Chase Elliott did here this weekend. Unfortunately, that Bulldog will not be going to victory lane, unfortunately. Hate it for him. So the field's starting to kind of cycle out a little bit here. There's your top 4. Now top 6 are in this pack together as everybody kind of single files to try to stay up with this lead pack. And you see, this is actually the first battle on track now is Beasley to the inside of Mike Kelly. And it's kind of interesting we're seeing this right now because this brings up my point that I've brought up some friends of mine and nobody seems to, I don't want to say the words understand, but follow the logic I'm coming from here. So, yes, they've created a super speedway package that they're racing at this track. As we saw, though, in the 21 years between surface change. Oh, hold on. Gonzalez got a little loose there. And Jimmy Coleman also off the pace and 2 in the wall. Ron Holyfield, Eric Arnold. No caution. That's 2 playoff contenders right there. We stay green now. Starting to stay, though, as this track ages, how effective is the draft package going to be? Because the cars are going to spread out with the handling coming in. So I don't know how much, you know, we got 1 year, I guess, under it now. But as this track gets in the wintertime and continues on, I would say by maybe 2025, 3 seasons from now, I think they're going to be going right back to the normal package and letting them race because they're going to start having handling coming in. Oh, hold on. Daniel Falkingham loose. Regular season champion getting a little loosey-goosey turn 1. I think Atlanta's catching a lot of these guys off of, a little surprising. I have a feeling the ones who should have took tires are maybe wishing they did now. And you see Tyler Dalton back here in the 14th position now. Restarted P1 in that run. Him and Glenn Campbell, who runs 12th. And then Jose Gonzalez got loose a few minutes ago. He's 16th right now. So there's your lead pack right now. 5 cars starting to stretch it out a little bit. Kevin DeBrown, Pedro Mojica, Josh Adams, Scott Stenzel, Anthony Calantoni. Then you got about a half a second to Mike Kelly back here in 6th. Then you got Joey Jatina trying to hold on about 3/10 back from Mike. Then it's Daniel Falkingham. He's a good 1.4 back. And then you got the next line of cars here. Mike Mondesi in 9th with Richard Beasley, Bob Gillenwater, Sibley, Charles Woods, Tyler Dalton. Is Gonzalez off the pace again? Not sure what has happened to Jose. Now Anthony Calantoni off the pace. So, and now caution is out. Trouble. Oh, wow. 1 car in the air. Jeff Ryan. And there's Gonzalez involved with Ed Burrell. 3 cars. A lot of people probably taking a breath after this run. Second caution out. That 3 car went for a ride. See what happened to Ed. He has Judd Muschin Jr. there below him now. Ed didn't give him a lot of room. And John sent him packing. And Jeff Ryan just ramps him. Let's watch this again. And John's there, and Ed didn't really give him room, and John didn't cut him a break. And then, poor Jeff. All right, we got pit stops here. Let's jump to pit road here, and I'll come back and we'll show a Jeff Ryan replay here. Josh Adams out quickly off pit road. Looks like fuel only, maybe. We'll get an interview with a driver here in a second, see what they're feeling. Looks like Mojica, a lot of players going with driver, or, wow, I can't talk. Drivers here with tires. All right, let's jump back real quick to this replay. Let's go on board with Jeff Ryan here. See you up there ahead. There's the accident. I guess it could have ended a little worse. Grab a gear and continue. It's actually, I want to talk to Tyler Dalton. That's the driver I want to talk to because he is going to give me some pretty good feedback, I think, on this package of what we're feeling here. Let's bring Tyler up here, the pole sitter. Tyler, you get a copy, buddy?
I got you.
Hey, let's talk a little bit here because I know you were probably mainly affected in that run there. It seems like you went with no tires there at that first stop, and it really affected you falling back and handling really coming into play as we got temps at almost 140 track-wise right now. How much is handling playing a role?
It's definitely playing a role. I did not really expect tires to make much of a difference there, and just the speed in the beginning just didn't have it. And then as the run got on, definitely was getting loose. Everybody that didn't take tires were getting loose. I think maybe I wasn't as loose as some of the guys that came in and got fuel only, but it was still definitely loose.
I know you're coming back to green here, but real quickly, is it a tire temp issue that's creating the looseness, or is it actual wear?
I think it's a little bit of combination of both. I know the left rear is wearing pretty severely compared to the left front, so.
Oh, that could answer the question right there. Well, hey, best of luck, man. I know kind of got that caution you needed there to get the tires on it, so good luck here. You got about 10 laps before the halfway point.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely, Tyler Dalton. Good information right there. I was kind of curious if it was a tire temp, because I was hearing during practice numbers over 300 degrees on some of these tires, so that could obviously play a role. And as I mentioned, track temp up near 140 degrees right now. Handling is playing a role as Gonzalez still on pit road. So for my taking here, it looks like all but Josh Adams took 4 tires and fuel here. So we'll see how that affects Josh as we have 10 laps to go before we give the halfway bonus points away. Top 3 cars, all playoff drivers. I would not be surprised to see some of the drivers maybe in this field kind of back it off a little bit and say, hey, I got to save this for the long run. So Kevin DeBrown to the front, Pedro Mojica, Scott Stenzel right there behind him as the outside line prevails. Stenzel gonna drop it down to the bottom. Oh, Adams getting loose. Great save there by the 56, but that's going to play a major role there for his playoff bonus points here. So what I'm seeing right now is you do not want to take 2 tires. You don't want to go fuel only. You want tires every stop. So Jeff Ryan, Ed Burrell are still on pit road. Brian Wortman, I believe, got the lucky dog there, so he is now a lap down and still in this thing. Mike Montesi we're on board with here to 6. They're going to come up on Jose Gonzalez there, the 26 car. Five laps to go before the halfway point. Who wants those bonus points? And I guess more of a question, who needs them? Especially when you've got all 18 drivers in the playoffs tied at 2,000. These 10 points right here are going to play a big role because it's going to give you a little bit of a head start. For those who don't know the rule behind it, basically 10 to 1. First through 10th will get bonus points. And right now with only 6 drivers... Oh, the leader's going to get tired in front of the pack! Buckingham, Dalton, Kelly, Tony, a lot of playoff drivers. Kelly's involved. And the plot change happens. So third caution is out, and this is a big one. Kevin Brown towed the pit road already. Let's see how this started. And we might get a one-lap shootout to the halfway point. Oh, Stenzel went up in front of Kevin Brown and crossed him up. Kelly got a lot of damage. Dalton into Gillenwater. Glenn Campbell with damage. I have a feeling there's probably some anger at that 42 maybe for that move. Charles Woods added him to the list. Oh, this is a pretty big wreck. Let's hit the pause button here for a second. Let's go right here on board Stenzel's car. Oh, he pretty much clears himself. Oh, and Brown had to check up. I think Mohica even got some damage. Add Bobby Wetzel to the list of contact with Beasley. Let's go on board with Gillenwater here. Okay, so far. Oh, he gets hit right there and wham, inside wall. Let's get another view. Let's go to... Daniel Buckingham had a pretty good view of this. Let's see this. And the right rear a few times, I'll say. Let's give me Mike Kelly. Had a pretty good... Actually, no. Let's go to... Where's the 12? Scott Simley. I think he had a pretty good view of this. Mustian got in it, too. He got it to the 4. Oh, he almost got through it. So this is the first time that we have actually had a caution right at the halfway point, I believe, this season. So unless it's different, I would expect that the... You see Buckingham is crabbing, but wants those bonus points, so he stays out. I believe as they cross the line here, the top 10 will probably get the bonus points, which only has about 5 of the playoff drivers. So the green's going to come out, and you're going to get the top 10 crossing the line here. And you'll probably see Daniel jump out of the way here. Or he's going to crab his way to turn 1. Yeah, he's going to jump out of the way now. So pit stops on that caution were mostly those with damage. So congratulations, Scott Stenzel, on getting the bonus points to 10 for the win, but the top 10 getting all the bonus points there in that situation. Malika's got a little bit of damage there. You see Tommy Ryan, Richard Beasley, maybe it's some damage. How about Randy Oakham up there, P5? As this field kind of sorts themselves out now. Daniel Falkingham taking his car behind the wall. Steve Herring, Glenn Campbell, John Muschiedt Jr., Kevin DeBrown. Looks like Jose Gonzalez is off track. Back there is that Cal and Tony with the modified. Well, this is definitely going to open the door for a couple drivers to get a good jump here in the points as we get ready for next week's race at the virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As the first round of the playoffs all consist of Atlanta, New Hampshire, and Pocono. And then the start of the round of 12 at Indianapolis on the oval. Michigan and Talladega virtually to end the round of 12, and then the round of 6, Vegas and Homestead, and the championship race at Phoenix. Well, definitely an assortment of tracks in this Sim 500 FEG Xfinity Series playoffs. Haven't said a word about Chuck Sweeting, and here he is in the 57 car. Jump to another car here. Let's go aboard Josh Adams. I bring him up because, remember, he is leading the battle for the wheel, the CSL Direct Drive Fanatec wheel from the Ford Entertainment Group. And with that bag wreck, that's going to affect some of those guys in that running, and Josh is still in it. Still up top right now. As they're going to go by the lap car, the 40 of Charles Woods. Unfortunately, way off the pace there. The Postman. So far, 3 cautions here as we complete lap 61. The big wreck, of course, just happening, affecting a lot of the drivers in the playoff race right now. As Mojica tries to carry that top side. Got Tommy Ryan there behind him. Ryan's teammate Randy Oakham also following him. Bobby Wetzel, and then you got the 56 there, Josh Adams. And Tyler Dalton hanging back there with Scott Simley. You got about 17 cars in this front pack. And the last car in line back here, Joey Jattina, is kind of hanging out. Turner Supply Company number 14. You can hear him kind of letting off the throttle. He's definitely maybe saving tires because he's seeing the looseness that's going on with these cars. Eric Arnold at 31. Unfortunately going a lap down. And some shuffling going on. Bobby Wetzel's going to get turned into the wall. Anthony Calantoni gets involved. And the 21 also getting a piece of that. But no caution. Everybody say, oh, Tyler Dalton with heavy nose damage. We stay green. Ed Burrell jumped to the pits. What happened? Ron Holyfield up into the 12. Oh, that was just ugly. Oh, and Jatina gets a piece of it. None of the cars got turned sideways, so there was no caution from it. There was 2 different wrecks there and one, it looks like. We stay green, though. So as I look now, we're down to 11 cars in this pack. And it looks like all but 2 of them pitted at the lap 42 mark, so they're going to be cutting it tight on fuel. Probably going to be short. I'm curious about Chuck Sweeting and Gerald Livingston back there, though. Those 2 pitted at lap 52 at the caution air, which is 56 laps to go as Charles Woods plants himself in the wall. Might be setting up for one of them 2 to win this race. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast today on the Captain Esports Network. If so, you can always hit that subscribe button. Appreciate any kind of feedback and stuff, and anything like that. Of course, tonight's the first broadcast, or second broadcast I've done. Of course, the race I did yesterday, the rerun of the GLSR race, the first time with the new microphone and headset setup. And tonight, of course, the first live race, I guess we'll say. So if you're wondering, wait, this guy sounds different than usual. That is why. Actually, don't have to worry about wearing a headset anymore with a microphone. It's in front of me now. So 11 cars in the lead pack, and then it's about 5 seconds back to Ron Holyfield in the 11th position. He's out there just trying to survive, and you got Scott Simley in a pack of damaged cars. This is 12th through 16th right here. And you got Doug Sigmund, who's got a car perfectly in one piece, just surviving. And another pack of damaged cars back here. Joey Jatina, Bob Gillenwater, Chad Coleman, Brian Wortman. Wortman's still working his way up here. He's actually... Is he still a lap down, I believe? I'm trying to see if he's still a lap down. Not sure. And then everybody else is kind of out there running laps, just trying to survive this race that has 38 laps to go. It's going to give me an opportunity to step away for a quick second. We'll come back and get to the last 37 laps of this FEG Xfinity Series race here from the Virtual Atlanta. Oh, there wasn't room there, Mike. But he made it. The Virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway here in the Sim 500 Xfinity Series on the Captain Esports Network.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
All right, back we are, Virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway, the new version here on iRacing, playoff race number 1 for the Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series. As we have 35 laps to go, 73 complete. This will give me the opportunity to, well, attempt to, while we're under green. Let's go to the Sim 500 website, which, by the way, you can check out to be a part of the series. I know we're already starting to talk a little bit about the fall and winter series that are going to be coming up, that are going to be ran. I know we've been doing some talks with Joey Jatina in the group. You're going to see continue next season seeing Sim 500 racing here on the Captain Esports Network. Oh, Stenzel loose in the Modest, and there he goes! Into the wall of 42. And we'll do the update here in a minute. Scott Stenzel has been up front a lot of this race. Yeah, why not hit the blue cone tip? Looks like Gerald Livingston maybe got a piece of this also. Fourth caution on track. The personal comfort machine is probably not comfort now. Well, he gets a little loose, and then Tommy kind of finishes him off, and then you see the 6 gets a piece of it. Well, Gerald Moore just got loose on his own there at the bottom, so we'll call it a 2-car wreck. A couple other cars involved. But once again, a loose car on a longer run, so I'm not sure. I almost think maybe you gotta, it's almost like you gotta let off the throttle now. You can't go wide open on the long run. Either way, here come leaders to pit road. This should be the final round of stops. Hello, Voodoo Graphics and Designs. I'm not sure who you are, but now the song from Godsmack is stuck in my head. Great song, by the way. Four tires and fuel. Adams going to pull away from Dalton and Yoakum and Sweeting and all these guys pulling away. 4 tires and fuel, it looks like, for everyone. Some people are going to get their damage fixed. And going to give me a chance to talk to a driver. Let's see who... Let's grab the guy who's going to be running 4th right now in this race. And that is the driver of the 54. Jimmy Coleman, you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, need your help here because we're trying to figure this one out. So, obviously, it looks like on the long run, we're starting to see the cars get loose. Obviously, with the hot track temp and stuff, obviously, you're running in the 4th position. You've been trying to avoid as much as you can. What can you do to counter this? It almost seems like you got to just let off the throttle, maybe going into the corner to keep the car under you, or is it a mid-corner thing?
Yeah, you're exactly right. You got to kind of let off coming into the corner because I got a little loose earlier. I don't know if you caught it because of that issue. I didn't let off early enough, and when I went into one, it just the rear end came around. So it's definitely something you got to be aware of.
So it's like, is that something from maybe just getting again, Tyler and I talked about this. It's either wear on the tires, is it the track temp, or not track temp, a tire temp that's causing this car to get loose?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the tire temps. My tire temps were pretty high, and even the left rear is really getting some wear on it too. So that's really what's making it more loose than anything.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, it's good to see the 54 up front there. I just looked at the track temp. It's actually gone down about 3 degrees since we talked to Tyler Dalton a little bit ago. So. 4th caution, 31 laps to go. How do you feel about this race? Do you see handling coming into play here at the end, or is it going to be something where it's just kind of luck of the draw? What do you think?
If we go green, yeah, handling definitely is going to come into play. I'm going to try to take care of it here. Hopefully we do go green. I feel pretty good about it if we do. So let's hope and see, but it will be come a factor.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck here the last 31 laps of this race, and we'll talk soon.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, you too, buddy. That is the 54 of Jimmy Coleman running in the 3rd position right now in this race. As Josh Adams going to bring him back to the green flag here with 30 laps to go Randy Yoakum on the outside. Jimmy Coleman, Pedro Mojica. And how about Doug Sigmund there, outside line, the Kevin Harvick throwback. Brian Wortman up to 8th. He was 2 laps down earlier. Jimmy Coleman going to the front of this race. Now, you heard him say that you kind of got to save tires from the start of the run. Save the right front. I find this intriguing. It's like another plot twist in this race. I mean, obviously, tires are a big deal in iRacing, period, when it comes to whatever track you run, but not many times you got a car that gets loose on you in the long run. And it's kind of unpredictable, the looseness. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's try it. My little weekly update that I like to do of the series. Let's start the Monday night, the NC North Carolina 811 Cup Series. Of course, it's on LSR TV every Monday evening. They also will begin. Let's see, their playoffs are still coming up. Actually, got that wrong. Race 16 of their season coming up at Atlanta Motor Speedway tomorrow night, right here. 130 laps of action. That'll be tomorrow night on LSR TV. You can check that out there. Tuesday night, the Super Speedway Series. They have race number 4 at Talladega. They've had 3 winners in 3 races. Congratulations, Derek Myers winning at Daytona 2 weeks ago there. The Trans-Service Truck Series go to Michigan. Coming up next, Wednesday night. This coming Wednesday night. Chad Coleman winning at Talladega 2 weeks ago. So that'll be, again, Michigan coming up Wednesday night. That is over on Ghostfire Media. Midnight Thunder Series just wrapping up, of course. Dustin German winning that race, and I believe it was Chad Coleman winning the championship of that series. It was. Congratulations to him on that. And, of course, Stowback Series ended a few weeks ago, so that leads us back to where we are now. So that's what you can catch right now if you're a part of Sim 500. You can, of course, go sign up for Sim 500 to be a part of the series. You have different specials or passes and stuff that you can get to be a part of the racing. And apparently John Mustin Jr. is on the call for the LSR broadcast, so make sure you check that out. 24 laps to go. Jimmy Coleman leading. Here comes Josh Adams, topside Charlie, bringing Mojica and Randy Yoakum with him. Oh, we're got a pretty fair shot at a new winner tonight, considering only 2 of them. Let's see, Adams and Mojica, the only 2 to win a race so far this season in the top 10. Laps are ticking off very quick. How about Gerald Livingston? He went for a little spin there under that caution. Inside line at 96, running P5. I mentioned Wortman. I mentioned Sigmund. The upset could potentially happen tonight. We ride with Sigmund in the 04. You can hear him kind of just nervously entering turn 1. Callan Tony's got a modified up there to top 10. Oh, Stenzel hitting the wall up there. There's a Super Speedway Series champion right there in the 10 car a couple seasons ago. Richard Beasley to the front. Livingston caught the apron, had to slide up track a little bit there, had to go catch her. Mike Monasty's in there. How about Ron Holyfield? That dude's been hitting on every side of his car, and he's up here in the top 10, or 12th, I should say. Tyler Dalton, he's at a beaten up number 19. He's up here. Chad Coleman was a lap down with a beaten up car. He's in that 38. He's in 16th on the lead lap. And it's one of those, if you're in it, you can win it. I know it's kind of a cliche, but hey, it makes a lot of sense to me right now. $19 laps to go. I would say here the next 5 to 10 laps. We'll have to keep a close eye on the handling of these cars. That's when this car should start getting a little loose. And I know I've kind of hammered this nail into the ground a little bit too much, but you know what? It's been a big time factor. The track temp, 134 degrees right now. Oh, Holyfield's going to get turned hard into the wall and flipping. Well, if he didn't get any part of his car fixed, it is now damaged. Unfortunately, he gets hooked into the right side wall trying to get past a lap car. And I think Doug Simon got a piece of that also. I saw this kind of happen out of the corner of my eyes. I was transferring cameras. But watch the lap car, the two of Mike Kelly's going to go by. Sigmund's just going to get too low here. Oh, Tyler Dalton also involved. That was a lick. All right, parental guidance is advised for this one. That wall's got a lot of grip in her. You see other cars up there wrecking. Go on board with Doug Sigmund here. Alan Tony gets in there. I think that's Eric Arnold there. Mike Kelly doing some off-track practice over there. All right, so caution back out for the 5th time in this race. We do have cars coming back to pit road now. I'm not sure who's got tires left here. But this is going to play a factor now. So 5th caution here with 16 laps to go. And I think what is really going to get wild now here as we get to the end of this race. Should get 1 to go before we get the green flag here. All right, so 15 laps to go. Josh Adams, Pedro Mojica, Randy Yoakum. As we set up the green flag here, Yoakum, Gerald Livingston, Anthony Calantoni, Brian Wortman, Chuck Sweeting, and Mike Mondesi all stayed out from this caution. So from Richard Beasley back, those guys likely have fresh tires. Unfortunately, I can't confirm that they do, but I'm assuming by their times on pit road, they do. And we saw what happened a little bit ago on older tires, so this could be interesting here. Hold on, seatbelts on. Keep all arms and feet inside the window during the ride. As we go green with 15 laps to go. Pedro did not get a good start. Look at Wortman jump to the top here. Not sure if he got shuffled out. Looks like it. He's going to the back. He's like, I'm out of this. A fresh reminder that red and white line at the bottom is out of bounds. You cannot go down there. And that includes on the final lap. Also a reminder for the playoffs, you do not advance with a win. It comes down to your points. So these guys that you're seeing up here with the P next to their name, they're looking to score as many points as possible to help them out to get to New Hampshire next week. Oh, Livingston loose in the 3. Gonna come back on track and contact into the wall. Tyler Dalton, Bobby Wetzel, Joey Gentina, Wortman gets turned. Oh, and he hits hard. More mayhem, 6 caution. There's gonna be some mad people after this race. Let's it's all gonna start up here. Oh, you know what? Maybe you got, okay. I think I saw contact there with the 10. Scott Semley gets up into Dalton, into Jatina. Stenzel gets down. And there's Brian Wortman going flying. Look at this one more time. There was a lot more to this than I thought. Let's go to Livingston up here. Right there. He gets contact with Beasley, gets loose. And then back here's where the wreck's actually going to happen. Man, Wortman crushed that wall. And that wall's got a lot of grip apparently in her. Oh boy. That wall ate Wortman and threw him. Hey, engine's still running. Keep going. Wow, wow, wow. Alright, let's grab. Let's grab Pedro Mojica here in the lead right now into 58. Got the Minion as his picture on Discord. Went to saw that movie actually this past weekend. Pretty funny. I suggest people go see it. Pedro, you've got yourself a battle on your hands here. How's the car? And more importantly, can you hold the lead with the fresh tires behind you, knowing that this car is getting looser and looser with the older tires?
I think I can. It's just going to be trying to block the runs and, you know, manage that the best I can, which is tough. You know, the guy in second can get a really big run, and sometimes you got to play risk versus reward, right? So we're in the playoffs, first race of the playoffs, so we want to get a good run. If we can win, we'll go for the win, but also got to keep be smart about what we do. So I think we can hold on, but yeah, Beasley's got fresh tires, and he's pretty good at these super speedway races too. So Wouldn't be surprised if he gets up here.
Is there a preferred groove that you'd like to be in at the end of this race? You want to be on the bottom against that line, or you think top side is the way to go?
It's really depending on who's pushing.
That's
So,
a simple way to put it.
yeah.
Pretty simple way. Well, hey, best of luck. And 10 laps to go here if we don't get any green-white checkers, and maybe we'll be in victory lane here in a minute.
I appreciate it.
You too, buddy. That is Pedro Mojica as we ride on board inside his car. Running in the first position, the lead, as we like to call it. Let's get him back to his channel. As they're going to come to the green flag here, Josh Adams, Anthony Calantoni has a modified in third. Randy Yoakum in fourth, Chuck Sweeting, Richard Beasley with the fresh feel goods. He's the first on the fresh shoes, if you want to call him that. Chuck Sweeting has got a chance there. Jimmy Coleman, Mike Mondesi, Tommy Ryan, and Gerald Livingston, your top 10. Are we done wrecking? My head is giving an answer, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I have no clue how that 84 is at speed right now. Eight laps to go. Trying to see who's got damage, who doesn't have damage, who's got a chance to win this thing. Mojica slides up in front of Adams. That's going to give Calantoni clean air. Beasley is literally pushing him. As Mike Kelly comes to pit road, 7 laps to go. Blocked by Mojica. Richard Beasley's kind of caught in a trap there behind Calantoni. It's Chuck Sweeting up into the wall. Contact! Sweeting into Beasley. More wrecking. Jimmy Coleman up against the outside wall. See what happens. I saw Sweeting up against the outside wall. And then Coleman, with the contact, he gets squeezed up in the wall. Somebody blinks through it. That actually was a lot smaller of a wreck than it could have been. I think that was maybe Chad Coleman that blinked through it. Mike Mondesi, nice job missing it. Nope, that was Gerald Livingston that got through there. Alrighty then. So now these cars coming to pit road, getting their damage fixed. That's pretty much all we got here. So we got Adams, Mojica, Randy Yoakum still up there. Calantoni, Mike Mondesi with a chance to steal a win here. So a lot of drivers that are not necessarily in the playoffs with a chance to steal. And we got drivers in the playoffs with a chance to steal. And then we got the drivers that are normally up there at the front with their chance to do what they like to do. Let's see. Probably going to be going to 1 to go here, so I'm just going to hold off on talking to anybody, let them focus here, as we're going to go green with 3 laps to go in this race. And I think Adams is going to take the top side. Interesting call there, considering he is going to have a guy with no nose in the front of his, or right behind him. All right, so the freshest tires in this series of, after the series of pit stops, will be Tommy Ryan there in the 5th position, pitted at lap 92. And then, of course, you do got Beasley and Gillenwater and Stenzel and Chad Coleman. Those guys all have tires. So it's a matter of, I'm thinking with the cooling down now of these tires, with the cautions, it might actually help these guys keep the looseness maybe out of the car here for the end of this run. So we'll have to see how this all transpires. As the pace car pulls off, 3 laps to go. This is not a green-white checker, obviously, so we're still in the main laps of the race, 104 complete, as Adams leads him to the green on the outside lane. And I'm guessing he's going to jump down in front of Mojica maybe, or no, maybe not so much. Front 5, front 6, single file, it looks like. Calantoni's going to jump out of line. He's like, what do I got to lose? Mojica jumps to the top side, 2 to go. Randy Yoakum going to go with him. That 99's got fresh tires there in the 5th position, or fresher. They're going to make it off turn 4, final lap from Atlanta. Who can get the big push? And will Yoka make a move as Mojica drops to the bottom? Does Tommy Ryan have enough push there? Can Adams get to him? Mojica blocks the bottom side of Mojica. Kicks off the playoffs with a win in Atlanta. The kind of race that Pedro needed to have to start the season off, he got. He'll obviously be the points leader as they move to New Hampshire next week as he gets his 3rd win of the season in that 58 car. Burnouts for everybody. So unofficially, Josh Adams 2nd, Randy Yoakum 3rd, Tommy Ryan, Anthony Calantoni gets a top 5. Richard Beasley, Mike Mondesi, Gerald Livingston, Scott Stenzel, Jimmy Coleman comes back to finish 10th. And there was an incident there as we were crossing the line. We'll look at that here in a second. Let me scroll down to it. So they've already crossed the checkered flag, I think, here. Yeah, there's the spin right there. So let's watch how it happens. I believe it's Beasley that's one of the cars that gets turned. Yeah, Beasley tries to squeeze the middle with Mondesi. There's the contact. They go spinning to the infield. I don't think it really hurt their position at all. So there you go. So let's look at the finishing order before we talk to the drivers tonight. As Mojica wins it 45/100ths of a second over Josh Adams, Randy Yoakum third, Callan Tony and Tommy Ryan your top five. Richard Beasley, Mike Mondesi, Gerald Livingston, Scott Stenzel finishing 9th, and Jimmy Coleman 10th. Tyler Dalton, Chad Coleman, Steve Herring, Eric Arnold, Chuck Sweeting, Bob Gillenwater, and Bobby Wetzel finishing 17th, with Charles Woods in the 18th position. 19th through 28 is where you see Sigmund, Wertman, Kelly, Simley, Joey Jatina, Ron Holyfield, Daniel Falkingham, Jeff Ryan, Glenn Campbell, Ed Burrell finishing in 28th. The rest of the field, John Mushton Jr., Kevin DeBrown, Jose Gonzalez, and Tom Dreiling, your 32nd place finish in this race. That was a wild one. We're going to start with a third place finisher. We'll bring Mr. Yoakum up here, and let's talk to him really quickly. After a great run, his season best finish in the 8 car. As Randy will join us. Randy, congratulations. Season best third place finish for you in that 8 car. That was definitely a race for survival at the end.
It was a race for survival from the very start, but it was really great to go ahead.
No, it's a good way to put it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just great to get this VA 811 number 8 up there with a little bit of front time and whatnot. Just glad to be able to do that. And of course, the guys right there at the end were extremely patient and it was some good driving. So yeah, man, it was awesome.
Got to ask, obviously the looseness came into play in the long run. We don't get to see that much in iRacing. Did you feel any of that kind of thing, or were you kind of aware that could be happening and were backing off yourself to keep the car under you?
Well, I noticed that. We noticed that as a team a little bit earlier, that and saw it and felt it. So I just decided to do a couple of things during a pit stop that would hopefully eliminate that towards the end.
Well, it definitely worked out, whatever it was. So great job. Congratulations getting that, as you mentioned, Virginia 811 car into the third place finish tonight. Season best, up 24 spots from your starting point too, which is good to see. And your chance to shout out whoever you like to, bud.
Hey, just happy to have VA 811 on the car here. And a lot of people don't understand what 811 is all about, but it's very important to damage prevention of all of our utilities and everything, and it's very important. But always my teammates, Tommy, Jeff, can't say enough about them guys. And Chris, thank you for the broadcast. Glad you're on board with Sim 500, buddy.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Randy, and best of luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll talk to you again next week at New Hampshire, but either way, go celebrate this one, bud.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Randy Yoakum, third place finish for him, and we'll move him back down to his unacceptable racing team there with he's not there anymore, but with Tommy Ryan and those guys. All right, second place finisher Josh Adams here in the 95 or the 50, what number is he at? 56. I couldn't remember. I see 95 in your name, so I got distracted for a second. But either way, great job, Josh. Second place run for you in that Best Buy car. You definitely showed the speed up there in the front. Obviously, you tried that tire strategy early. It almost bit you as you got kind of loose, but still a great bounce back to get a P2 here.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a fun race. Staying ahead of the carnage, and that call wasn't the best one, but I figured we had 3 sets of tires, and I know how loose it gets, so I was trying to make that not happen, but also make it so I could put on a set of tires late. But like you said, it almost bit me, but we were pretty good once I got new tires back on it and got a chance to get back up there and mix it up.
Were you kind of surprised how much it spread out there on that second run after you and a couple others took no tires, and it just kind of spread the field out a little bit?
Yeah, maybe a little, just because it is, a drafting race, and I don't think we had ran really far enough yet to make handling become a thing. But I don't know, I've seen it happen a little bit if you run longer runs, but yeah, a little bit.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations on a top 5 finish, almost getting that second win of the season, but good points tonight, obviously, as you kick off the playoffs here. And shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, thank you. Sim 500 for putting on the races. It's pretty fun. If I win one of these, I'm gonna get a Danhausen paint scheme out here for you. Don't forget about that.
Do that, or you'll be cursed.
Yeah, and then I think I've extended my lead maybe on the season-ending prize there for the wheelbase, whatever. So that's pretty good. Finishing all the laps, so we're going good.
Yes, that's the FEG wheel, the direct drive wheel there that you've been leading on. I know, let's see, Chad Coleman finished on the lead lap, so you'll still only have a 2-lap lead. But there are some others that definitely fell victim, I think, tonight, so you might have a little less competition in that running. But, hey, good job tonight. Congratulations, and, yeah, go get ready for New Hampshire. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, buddy. Josh Adams finishing in the second position there. For those who don't know Danhausen, that's a wrestler in AEW. He runs AEW on his side panel of his car, so I had to throw the joke to him. Danhausen or be cursed. All right, winner of the race, Pedro Mojica. Let's talk to him, the Minion. I don't know if that's going to be a nickname I give him, but it works. 58 goes to victory lane tonight. Third win of the season, kicks off the playoffs with a win. I know this one's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does, Chris. Woo, open a beer here, bud. Woo,
Please
man.
do.
Oh, man, that was a hell of a race there at the end. I was nervous there on that last restart. I didn't know how things were going to work out, but we went with it and got the push at the end to hold off and get the win, man. Oh, man, that was a crazy race, but my strategy worked out. Usually these kind of races, I've been hanging out in the back waiting for the wreck, and the wreck always finds me. So this race, I was like, well, it's a new track. We're going to do a different strategy. We're going to try to start up front and stay up front, and that's what we did the whole race, man, and it worked out. We only had to miss 1 wreck or 2 wrecks. We only had to miss 2 wrecks out of, I don't know, 6 or 7 of them that we had in this race. So when you do that, you have a good probability of missing those wrecks and competing for wins. So that, we managed that, managed to stay up front, and man, I like that. I like the outside lane. That whole race, I really liked how it felt up there, and I knew if I could just get on Josh's right rear quarter and get a little help, that we'd probably end up winning this race, and that's exactly what happened. Randy went up there with me, and Josh, even though he had help from Calantoni had some damage, which I think made it difficult for him to push. So I think that pretty much when I got to the top, that gave me the advantage at the end to control the race.
Yeah, I'm actually watching the replay right now. Talk about that pass. Talk about the strategy behind it when you made the move, because obviously you're, as we're seeing it here, it's you were right behind Adams, and you almost had to kind of side draft him to kind of pull him back here, and it was like Yoakum kind of saw it coming himself and jumped up there with you.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did, because I kind of figured Calantoni was going to go with Josh. I felt like they were working together. They might be teammates. I'm not 100% sure, but pretty much anywhere Josh went, Calantoni went. So I knew I would have to side draft hard. So I was pushing the heck out of Josh, and I think I kind of pushed him a little loose down the track. And so I just took the momentum that I had and went to the outside and just got on his right rear quarter and pulled myself up to his door and even, I think, going into turn 1, and then I just held him tight until Randy got to me. Once Randy got to me, then I just try to hold them tight in the corner, but off the corner, let the car drift up and not bind it down too hard so that we get the run on the top.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, so I was just going to say that, that was once, that was kind of my mindset. If I can get to his outside, I think I can manage, the position and maybe hold him, get ahead of him, which I was able to.
Well, it definitely worked out for you. Congratulations to kick off that season, the playoff season, with a win as you go to New Hampshire next week. Obviously, you're going to be the points leader as we go to the Magic Mile, but shout out to whoever you like to.
Oh, man, the guys on the car, Tap Out Tuning. If Peak Performance Academy, Michael Sharp Racing, the owner Michael Sharp, all those guys. I appreciate them for supporting me in this series. Without them, I wouldn't be in the series. So appreciate that. Been able to put on a good season for them. You know, it's been pretty remarkable season if you think about it. Just how good we've been running and how competitive we've been week in and week out at all these different tracks. So I appreciate their support. Trey Edson for painting the car. I appreciate him doing that. He does a great job painting cars. So if you ever need a paint scheme, you know, hit up Trey Edson. He might help you out there. Ford Entertainment Group for sponsoring the Sunday series. They do cool prizes. I think that's coming down to the wire. Handful of laps, I think, between the guys who are up top battling for that. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for the prize. You know, Jimmy Coleman for running the Sunday series, Joey for running the Sim 500, all the admins really for running all these different leagues and the series. Appreciate them and everything they put up with us. Chris, appreciate you putting on the broadcast. Hopefully we put a heck of a show on for you there for the fans. And man, everybody on Team Name that races with me every week. You know, there at the end, they really helped me there. A couple of guys are out, so they stayed back and spotted and helped me kind of manage the lanes there at the very end. So appreciate those guys and appreciate racing with them.
Absolutely. Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, and we will see you next week in your third one of the season. Great job, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Pedro Mojica is going to pop a top on a brewski and enjoy his victory this evening. Go down there and laugh with the team because there's a lot of reviewing of wrecks down there they're going to be doing, so that's going to be pretty interesting. So what a fun race it was, though. I know there was some wrecks. There was some drama. Obviously, the first broadcast I've ever done at this new Atlanta. Obviously, I had my experience of racing at it this week, but what drama we had to get through this first round of the playoffs for this FEG Xfinity series. So great job to Pedro Mojica and others who were able to get through the race and all those who showed up tonight. Great effort and definitely a lot of fun to be a part of. Again, next Sunday night we'll be at the virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That'll be a fun one. Sunday night, 8:45 Eastern Time at the Magic Mile for the second round of the playoffs here in the Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series for Sim 500. A reminder, tomorrow night over on LSR TV, the Cup Series will be on for Sim 500 here at Atlanta. So it should be a pretty good show. And always remember, as we take off, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!